Actually, this morning, DB and I were talking about how we were different from most of the people in this documentary because we came to the small press relatively late, recently. You know, I'm living in rural North Carolina, and I don't really know that such a thing exists, other than from, say, reading a Bukowski biography or something like that. And, you know, whereas somebody like Tim Peeler had Third Lung Review in the 80s, I think maybe he did 30 print editions of it. And so my introduction to that world largely began in 1999 when I got internet access.
Well, I was even later coming along than Charlie was. So it's just been over the last 3 years that I've actually started submitting any poems. I had written poems for years, and songs too, the band, I'm a musician, so. And I finally started submitting poems. It took me a long time to find a place that would actually take any of my stuff, because I was actually into a thing where I was sending poems without checking out what kind of stuff is actually in the magazine or the e-zine. So I spent a lot of time over the last couple of years because I've been out. I moved back down south and I had a lot of time, and so I've been really busy writing over the last 3 years. I've done most of my stuff over the last 3 years. And I just had my first collection published in the last couple of months, and kind of combines three of my chapbooks, my first three chapbooks together. Right now I'm just playing music and writing. I may have to go to work at a real job again before long, because I'm just about to run out of dough. So. I like songwriters, and I actually was poets, because I started, like I said, writing songs for the band 30 years ago. Plus I had some poems I'd written while I was in the Marine Corps that show up in this book that I had been holding for quite a while. Since we were just talking about my latest book here, Empty Frames, I'm going to read a few poems from this book now. I'll just read this. First one's called House of Cards. Whiskey-laced voice of a sidewalk showman stirs the night air under a big-top sky. Vanishing coins, shifting cards. A homeless magician works the boulevard. Shell games on a suitcase covered with stickers from this place, that place. Hustling and rustling every crosstown bus that drops tired faces to congregate like cartoon minstrels with cinemascope eyes, ready to be taken in one more time before the last bus leaves the station. And the flim-flam man disappears like the burned-out leather on the sad cafe sign just up the street. Here's, I'll just go to the next page here. Here's one called Motorhead. This is a relatively new poem here. Harley ghostwriters drained from spending too much time in too little space, driven by an urge to see it all from a distance. Last gasp America opening like an old newspaper for meth-magnified eyes. Felony faces fixed in aimless rage. Insane speed merchants kicking up the wind, snaking in and out of timid traffic, trying to solve the last equation, as caravans of migrating Winnebagos jam every exit, putting a squeeze on the mental well-being of overheated brains up against the curve of time. Straining to make the next connection, Motorhead misfits with keys to the highway, searching for the last exit for better days. one more here. This is called Billboard Savior. It's about one of my favorite TV characters, Dr. Phil. On the edge of town where the outbound ends, just across the tracks a hobo jungle grows, under a lighted sign covered with the saintly image of our Dr. Phil, sitting in his lofty chair, gazing down kindly on the frames of fire-gutted cars and moon-white bones of lost dogs that no longer sing of lonely things in the night. Lording over a kingdom of addicts, early releases, and maniac drifters with bad luck and trouble tied to their raggedy asses like clanging tin cans as they sleepwalk in circles, round and round holy ground, totally fucking ignored by the smiling Billboard Savior.